afternoon or early evening, everybody. It's about 5:05 p.m. on this Tuesday, December 10th. I'm going to do this as quickly as possible, as I don't know when my mom might show up from work or if my brother-in-law might call me for work, but I seriously doubt it, seeing as though it's supposed to get down below freezing tonight in several areas of in several areas in the Bay Area, and basically several of the areas we usually work in for his pressure washing business. But anyway, with the news, rumored and speculated news that Sony Pictures domain SPD has registered 3 domain names for Sonic the Hedgehog movie, a question popped up over at the Sega forums. Now, in the past decade or so, at least since 2007, so I should say about in the past 6 years or so, DC and Marvel individually have released direct-to-video animated films that have run under the PG-13 banner. A majority of them have. Some have done the PG banner, a majority the PG-13 banner. And DC basically is the one that's leading the pack when it comes to that, because it seems they release almost 2 or 3 movies a year. 2 or 3 movies a year, they release them. And they're pretty damn good. Don't get me wrong. In fact, I have the very first DC animated film that was released directly to home video, and that's Superman Doomsday. So I have that, and I've been trying my best to keep up with them. But one fan over at the Sega forums asked a question. And I got to thinking, with the possibility that a Sonic movie, theatrical movie, might be happening soon, thanks to possibly Sony Pictures, but we're not sure yet. It's still speculated rumor. This one fan asked if anybody would like to see direct-to-video animated films of some of the stories out of the Sonic the Hedgehog comic book by Archie Comics. Now, he used some examples. I think one example was Endangered Species, Treasure Team Tango, stuff like that, but I seriously doubt some fans would like to see that kind of stuff, especially Endangered Species and what screwed that up. Well, I thought I'd kind of give my thoughts on what I would like to see if that was ever to happen, because let's face it, if you're a movie studio and you're a company like Sega and maybe even Archie Comics, and you know that you have a movie in the works or possibly occurring in the near future, basically because you've already registered 3 domain names with the name of the movie and franchise, you want to do everything you can to really hype up this movie. You want to get people ready for this movie. You want to get longtime fans ready for this movie. So what's the best thing to do? Well, quite simply, you release direct-to-video movies. That's what DC does. That's what DC and Marvel have done. They've released direct-to-video movies to tie in, well, not tie in, but to hype you up for the upcoming movies of that year. This year they released Superman Unbound, which was the second one this year for DC. And it was released just in time or a little afterwards from Man of Steel. Or just around the same time, if not a little afterwards, of Man of Steel. So it's kind of ironic. Marvel does the same thing. They got a team-up movie out right now with Hulk and Iron Man. And it's kind of ironic. They released that within the same year that they've released Iron Man 3. And they're releasing it within the same year, or within almost the same time frame, because a few months later you're going to have Captain America. So basically they're getting your taste buds. They're giving you a taste of what's to be. But again, the question obviously is, what kind of movies would you like to see? What kind of stories from the Archie Comics would you like to see made into direct-to-video animated films? And I'm thinking, again, that this could be a good thing, that if this happens, that this would be a good way to hype people up for the movie if that is indeed being speculated to happen due to these domain names being registered by Sony Pictures, supposedly. Well, this is the way I look at it. These are some of the stories I would like to see. My honest opinion. My honest opinion. These are the stories I would like to see. I would definitely like to see, no doubt about it, but I doubt it will happen because he wrote this, but I think it would be a great story to adapt. I would like to see Endgame. That's right. I would like to see Endgame be adapted into a film. That would be good. Now, again, I understand Ken Penders wrote it, and it may not be possible, but I would still like to see something like that happen. Another one, of course, written again by Ken Penders, is the expanded Sonic Adventure Adaption. The adaption that ran from about basically issues 78, 79, all the way into the mid-80s issues, if you will, mid-80 issues, and also involved a 48-page Sonic Adventure Super Special issue. I would like to see the Archie Comics adaptation of Sonic Adventure be adapted into an animated film, but again, I know that's probably not possible due to the fact that Ken Penders was involved in that. Another one I would like to see, again involving Ken Penders' writing, would be Sonic Adventure 2.5, Alpha and Omega. That would be great to have. That would be great to see. But again, like I said, Ken Penders wrote it, so it's doubtful it would happen. Currently, under the pen writing of Ian Flynn, what would I like to see? How about Darkest Storm? That's a good one. Check that out. That's a good story to go with. Or how about 175 to 177? What is it called? Basically the 175 to 177 three-part saga. How about that one? That would be good. Or just out of curiosity, how about, and I know, because I know some people may not like this, but they may. How about, I don't know. How about the Iron Dominion? Yeah, the Iron Dominion arc. This is an arc that potentially could have had a lot more done with it and could have a lot more done with it if adapted correctly into animated film for direct-to-video release. It would be great. They could do a lot more, have a little bit more freelance, and basically be allowed to do things maybe you couldn't do in the comic. Maybe have more depth and all that. So I think Iron Dominion would be a good choice. You can even add in Journey to the East as part of it as well, as sort of a side story, if you will, because it's part of it. You can add Journey to the East, and you can have a whole Iron Dominion story arc. Or maybe, this is just me, maybe we have Sonic Genesis. That's right, Sonic Genesis. How about that? And you can alter the way it ends if you don't want if people don't like the original ending. It's no big deal. Or you can even do Worlds Collide. Of course, you'd have to work with both Sega and Capcom to have that happen, but you could do Worlds Collide. Heck, you can even do the Mecha Sally arc if you wanted to. These are potentially some of the stories I would like to see that have potential, that if done right, that if adapted right into animated format, could work well as direct-to-video animated films that, to me, in my personal opinion, would get you hyped up and ready for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, should that become a reality, and should that become a reality if the speculation and rumored reports of SPD, Sony Pictures domain registering the three domain names of Sonic the Hedgehog movie is true. I would love to see that happen. Again, though, potentially, I'll give you my top 5. I named a lot, but my top 5 honestly would be this. These are the top 5 I would like to see made into animated feature film for direct-to-video to hype you up maybe for the movie. This is what I'd like to see. I would like to see Endgame would be one, top of the list. The original Sonic Adventure Adaption, which spanned 7 to 8 issues, including a 48-page Sonic Super Special. Iron Dominion with Journey to the East added in there. Darkest Storm. And currently, right now, Countdown to Chaos. Yeah, I didn't mention Countdown to Chaos earlier because that's part of my top 5. So again, my top 5 I'd like to see would be Endgame, the original adaptation of Sonic Adventure, if you will. Darkest Storm. Iron Dominion with Journey to the East added in. And Countdown to Chaos. Those would be the ones I would like to see adapted into animated feature films to be released directly to DVD and Blu-ray. For the potential hyping, if you will, for the potential hyping of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie if the rumors that Sony Pictures has purchased 3 domain names for it is true. But that's what those are the titles, those are the stories from the Sonic the Hedgehog comic book and even universe I would like to see. I mean, I mentioned Worlds Collide. That could be like an honorable mention, but that would have to be something that have to be done between Sega and Capcom to make that happen. But again, those are the top 5 I would like to see, and just some others I threw out there as honorable mentions, as potential of being adapted. But my top 5, like I said, Endgame, the original Sonic Adventure adaptation, Darkest Storm, Iron Dominion with Journey to the East added in, and Countdown to Chaos. Those are the ones I would like to see. But that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. I'll provide the link down to the topic at the Sega forum so that you guys read it yourself. And I will talk to y'all later.